So while we are waiting to get started, I'm going to tell you an American joke. Many years ago, I was appointed by the Director General of the World Information, it's called WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization. I was invited by the new Director General to help him launch an advisory group to talk about bridging intellectual property law and e-commerce. And it was a great honor. And when the letter of invitation came, the corporate counsel at AT&T decided, of course, that it would be a man who was assigned to this auspicious role because they were going to be CEOs from the entertainment company and the drug guys. I'm sorry, the big pharma guys. I just call them the drug guys, and presidents. And I just wasn't senior enough. So the general counsel sent back a very nice letter thanking the director general, and the director general wrote back and said, "You do not understand. This is a personal invitation." So I arrive at the first of the advisory groups. There's 19 men, presidents of companies, vice presidents, legal counsel from pharma, the big pharmaceutical companies, from intellectual property, from Motion Picture Association, and me. And the Director General kept apologizing to me about the fact that I was the only woman. So I finally decided to put him at ease. And I said the following: let me see if I understand this. There are 19 men, CEOs and presidents of companies. Yes? And there's one woman who is a technologist and who understands technology and is a woman. I think the odds are about even. No one got my joke. We want to, in this session, really think about how we bring together an understanding of why it's so important to empower women to contribute to addressing the challenges we face in the world and the particular challenges that you face in your country and in the region about, you gotta apply all the resources you have if your country is going to achieve the future you want for it. And 50% of your resources are what? Women. So TechWomen, this session, is going to talk about some of the experiences of 4 panelists and others here in the room about, okay, so how do we engage more to involve women so that it can be progress that helps you achieve the future you want in your country and you want for your country? Are we ready to go? Or do I have to find another joke that nobody understands?
Okay, so we're waiting for our 2 remote speakers, but we can start, and Shaheen will work on connecting them. So I'd like to invite Michelle Morgan, Chief of Party of Women in Economy, to join us here on the stage. Women in Economy is one of the four components of the USAID's Promote program, and they have been contributing so much in the women empowerment in Afghanistan, in the focusing and in economy. The other 3 programs are Women in Leadership, Women in Government, and Coalitions for Women. Musharakat, yeah. These are the 4 programs, and Michelle is leading the Women in Economy program. Marilyn? Do you have a present PowerPoint or something? Okay, so I'm gonna invite you to start your. By the way, we have the translation here, Just in case there were some questions in Dari or Pashto, you can use that.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to stay up here until I finish reading my speaking notes so that I can take my glasses off and walk around without killing myself. Sorry. My name's Michelle Morgan. I'm the Chief of Party of the USAID-funded Promote Women in the Economy program. I know a lot of you in the audience from other events and other activities, so I'm not going to speak too long, but I want to thank Mr. Ansari for organizing yet another opportunity for us to market a little bit of what we're doing and to give a very brief overview. Women in the Economy was designed by USAID to leverage the investment that USAID has made in educating Afghan women and girls over the last 10 to 15 years. So there are two major components to our program. One is helping educated Afghan women between the ages of 18 and 30 to find a job. That may involve giving additional training to girls that don't have job-specific skills, or, as was very amusingly portrayed by the Pashto TV team, helping people get job experience so that when they go to their first interview and the employer asks them, what is your work experience, they can have an internship or an apprenticeship on their resume of 6 to 9 months that will have helped them gain not just experience in the workplace, but also and the skills that they've learned either at school or through various training programs. So helping Afghan women get jobs is one part of what we do. The other part of what we do is assisting women-owned businesses or businesses that employ lots of Afghan women to increase their revenues, to grow, to make investments. And that is supposed to expand the number of jobs available for Afghan women overall. So I've brought some program information. If anybody wants to take a look at either of those two components, I'll leave it on the table at the back after this session. But we are very excited to be involved with not only TechNation, but many of the other conference participants that are here. One of the initiatives that I'd like to explain briefly that relates to women in technology is the business incubator activity that's funded through Women in the Economy, but is implemented by our partners, including AHG's The Collective. AWEESO is implementing Startup Valley in partnership with us. All of these business incubator programs provide an opportunity for women-owned Afghan startup businesses or startup businesses that have a significant number of female employees, particularly in the tech sector, to get business enterprise support during the startup phase or expansion phase of their company. And Mr. Didar has been doing a fantastic job getting going. I think we initially agreed we would try to have 15 or so companies in the first round of Startup Valley, and I understand that more than 200 applied. So he's busy trying to accommodate extra companies at this point. And we're looking forward to, after round one, expanding this program outside of Kabul to the regions. Women in the Economy has offices in not only in Kabul, but in Jalalabad, Mazar-e Sharif, Kandahar, and Herat. And we also work in 30 other provinces throughout the country, where we have provincial coordinators embedded in the Ministry of Labor, Social Affairs, Martyred and Disabled offices, so that we're assisting female job seekers through those venues. Also, what I think may be of interest to this audience is that WIE is providing scholarships to Afghan women who are interested in learning technology skills for the workplace. It could be anything from coding to graphic design to database administration. We are accepting applications on a rolling basis for women who want to study anywhere in Afghanistan. You can nominate your own institute that you want to study at, or we have a list of vetted institutes that we've checked out for their curriculum and whether or not they offer an internationally recognized certification. So that's another opportunity that we would love for you to spread out among those you know. I want to speak briefly about the 2 business incubator centers in general, because I think that there's a lot of interest from women's companies that are focusing on technology. It's a company where it's a sector of the economy where there is a lot of demand for services, where there's not many different providers, and where we're just starting to see diversification in the services that are being offered. So both the Startup Valley Incubation Center that's run by AWEESO and the collective, which is run by Afghanistan Holding Group, are focusing mainly on tech startups at this point. The applications are open to all businesses that are in the idea stage or in the early launch stage, so recently started up. These centers are offering a variety of practical services for a period of about 6 months, including workspace, mentorship. It's a collective workspace so that they'll have a desk and a place to sit where they have access to mentors and advisors. And the kind of assistance that's being delivered includes financing options, the legal aspects of running a business. How do I register? How do I file my taxes properly? As well as products and services testing, and all of the technical assistance that can go into product development or operational management, procurement of raw materials, depending on the type of business. So we're very excited about this initiative, and we're hoping to have the ability to assist at least 40 businesses through these initial 2 centers, and before the end of this year to bring online centers in all of the regions that we operate in. So if anybody out there knows female startups that are interested in applying for incubation assistance, regardless of their location, they can be anywhere in Afghanistan, please feel free to contact us or to give them our information, and we'd be happy to look into it further.
Thank you, Michelle. It's great to know that WIE has started supporting incubators and incubator centers. Entrepreneurship is key for economic development, and incubators are key for economic growth, for entrepreneurship. So if we do not have incubators, it will be really difficult for young entrepreneurs to start and sustain their businesses. For women especially, we definitely need a lot of incubators that can, and mentorship support programs that can help them understand how to set up their companies properly, how to develop them, and how to sustain their businesses. So I think this program is going to contribute a lot to the women-owned business formation in the country, as well as development in sustaining their businesses. Before we go to Q&A, and I hand it over to Marilyn. She might have some questions and comments to make. I'd like to invite Shabana Mansoory of TechWomen Afghanistan to join us here on the stage. She's one of our panel speakers. I'll pass it on to Marilyn. Okay. So I'll invite Shabana to talk to us about what TechWomen Afghanistan is doing, what it is, and how it contributes to the overall women empowerment activities.
Thank you, Ansari Saib and Marilyn. Let me once again welcome Ms. Michelle joining us with TechWomen session. It's very interesting that here we talk about women in technology, women entrepreneurship, and women incubation, and in the hall we only have one row of females. Differently, such as some of the international meetings which they discussed important issues of women, but in the hall there was very few females. Anyways, we continue our work, and we hope one day we have a hall, at least half of the hall having women. Okay, so let me a little bit talk about women ICT and why is it important and why it's so discussed not only in Europe and USA but in Middle East countries as well as in Asia, even in Africa, the issue of women in ICT. Well, when we talk that we need women in ICT, does that mean that we only need in society to have women in ICT? Don't we need women in economy? Don't we need women to work in government? Don't we need women to work in businesses? Well, when we say that there is a need for women in ICT, it's because that ICT is today related, very, very related to all areas of the work. Every sector is today somehow under influence of ICT. If it's that entrepreneurship, if that's economy development, if it's that education, if it's that entrepreneurship, if that's health, everything is somehow under influence of ICT. So when we talk about women in IT, women in ICT or technology, we mean that we need women to have ICT knowledge and work in whether in health sector or education or business or economy in these areas as well. So what we basically do in TechWomen Afghanistan. In TechWomen Afghanistan, our approach is in two levels, basic level and middle and advanced level. In the basic level, we work and we discuss on digital literacy of women, having access to mobile, having access to a smartphone and to internet. We work on this, and I'm also supposed to talk a little bit on the current state of women in ICT in Afghanistan. So till now, we haven't had any official research through our TechWomen platform, but the data till now we use shows that 80% of women have access to mobile. And from this 48% themselves own mobile, and the remaining 32, they use the shared mobiles or they borrow from members of their families. But at the same time, you see having access to mobile, to smartphones, to internet, very significant for their day-to-day activities in life. And the other approach in TechWomen Afghanistan is the encouragement of women to study in field of ICT and to pursue a job in this field. Why? As I mentioned before, that today every sector is somehow under influence of ICT. So we work and we encourage and invite women to have basic ICT knowledge or have higher education in information and communication technology and pursue job. And why in this field again? Because today one of the increasing number of employment is in ICT. And ICT is one of the workforce around the world that having job in this sector even can be through freelancing or through online freelancing. And one of the other reasons is that there are very less number of women in ICT workforce. And let me talk a little bit from my own personal experience of the need for having women in ICT and women in technology. Today, wherever I have worked or now working, not only in TechWomen, but other places, I see very, very significant relevancy of the mobile technology or the advanced technology. For example, I teach soft skills training to the governmental universities in Kabul. Recently, they just came to us that maybe we can have this project for 3 or 5 years, but what happens when the project finishes? So the team proposed that let's have all the curriculum in mobile, in the basic Nokia mobile. And we and the main provider of the project worked on having all the soft skills training of university students and basic mobiles. And everyone, whenever they want, they can have access to those curriculums and to the materials. So there is a very, very important advantage of using mobile. And at the same time, you might know about the e-health or the Himayat program, which is implemented in Afghanistan through USAID funded project. And they work on decreasing the on maternal health and to decrease the death of mother and children. And what innovative thing they do is that they are open to new ideas, whether it's through mobile technology or it's through advanced technology, how some of innovative things can be done to decrease the death of mothers and children. And yes, in TechWomen Afghanistan, we do many things, but there is a something is missing, and that is the active participation of women who pursue study in ICT, who are doing job, but this platform needs you. And as I mentioned before, that the interesting thing is here that we are talking here, Michelle is here, our remote speakers are here to talk on the opportunities and on the advantages of having more women in technology, but in the hall we only have one row of females. I'm open to any kind of your questions if you have related to general questions related to women in technology, and what are some of the global regional programs for women in technology, and what we do in TechWomen Afghanistan, and how you can get engaged with us. Thank you.
Thank you both. So I want to add a phrase that you may already be familiar with, but if you're not, I'm going to invite all of the men in this room to think of themselves and describe themselves as men supporting women. And I want you to think about that, because that is actually a real initiative in Geneva, Switzerland, that was launched by the Secretary Generals and Director Generals of the United Nations organizations to advance the idea that more women need to be given visibility and the ability to move up in employment in even the UN system in Geneva. There's also a program called Equals, and companies and agencies are invited to join that voluntary commitment to work toward gender equality. So some of what we're talking here about is how can we advance skills and capability and access. But I think we also need to keep in mind that as a world, we have committed to Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which focuses on gender equality. But I just wanted to introduce that concept, because we aren't going to make the progress we need in any country or in our world, unless we are all thinking about how we move in a similar or at least constructive direction. I think we have, I'd like to hear now from someone in the audience who has volunteered to also offer some comments, and then perhaps we'll move toward any of the other women who want to offer comments, and then we'll begin to go with question and answer and dialogue. Please, Ms. Saidi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy that today I'm here and I can share some important points with you. This is Zamira Saidi, and I'm a defense lawyer. At the same time, I have an NGO for women empowerment running in Kabul. Currently, our office is in Kabul, but we are trying to open other branches in other provinces. Today, maybe all of us or most of us hearing that why women are not taking initiatives in Afghanistan, why they are not working as men in Afghanistan, why they are trying to keep away from every work, from society, from social things. So I just want to explain it that how a woman lives in Afghanistan. So by taking one step, I'm going to explain one phase of women's life in Afghanistan. Pretend that we might have this question that why Afghan childs are not as wise as foreigner childs, why they are not taking initiative, why they are not taking high scores, why they are not taking the steps or the works that other childs are doing in outside of Afghanistan. But here in Afghanistan, our childs are facing with different kinds of problems. For example, when they are child and living in the between their family, not going out, not having friends out. So by taking one step, they are entering into society by entering into school or by nominating themselves to start in school. So they are taking one step. Why our school childs are different than foreigner school childs? Because our school childs are facing with different kind of problems. When it is within the family, their parents are not even thinking to enter their child while making decision within the family in their home. They used to fight in front of their child without thinking that what aspects this fight might have over their child. They used to share every kind of problem, saying that story of fights, saying different things, without taking care that these all might have negative impact upon their child, especially upon the female child. when the female is like, when the female child is seeing different kind of discussion within the home, and then in the society while going to school and coming back, they are facing with different kind of people, they are listening different kind of nonsense words. So from other side, when they are looking at the economical problems in Afghanistan or in their society, it's what makes them to be negative, or it makes them to don't think about taking initiative, to don't think about doing something different than other childs, or doing something as the other childs are doing in international level. So pretend that here is a small girl who think like to do something different in the future. She might have some plans to do in the future. She might is dreaming about something in the future. So she says that, okay, when the school finished, I will take preparation. I will enter in the university just for making true my dreams. So she takes another one step to go after her dreams. In the university, because of the problems within our educational system, because our educational system is mostly theoretical than being like practical, so they don't get the chance for working on their dreams. They only get the chance to study. If they have some free time, they try to do some work. No, it's not important for them what kind of work, but they are trying to do some works to help their family, especially when their family is in a bad economical situation. So in the university time or period, he or she doesn't take the time, the opportunity, or the funding to work on her plans, or even on his plan. So if that person be a girl, she thinks, okay, after graduating from university, I will try to find some funding. I will try to work in somewhere, in some organization, in some governmental positions. And by this way, I can find some money to work on my dreams, or to start what I want to do. By this, with this thought, or with this way of thinking, she takes another step after university, entering into the labor market or entering into the working environment. Here what happens. If she is a girl, after graduating from university, at the first she can find a job, because every organization, every NGO, every governmental positions are looking for someone who be experienced. At the first, because of the corruption in Afghanistan, he or she, whoever the person be, can't find a good job because he or she doesn't know someone. So when you don't know someone, no one will even listen to you that what you want to say. Even if you know someone, the second problem is that you don't have experience, while they are asking for experience. So here is something complicated, that you need to work to find experience. Until you don't find job, you can't find experience. But at the beginning, they are asking for your experience. So this is another negative point which makes you like not to find a good job to work. So it's not like whatever I said, these are not all the points. There are many other problems which a graduate of us facing to that one. So the whole thing that this graduated student is looking for is finding a job. So he or she, whoever the person is, he tries to leave the idea, his own plans, his own dreams, just to find a job, to find some money, to help his family or to help her family. So if pretend that in this stage here is a girl who says that, okay, who is optimistic about the future, who says that, okay, within these all problems, I will take some other time, I will find some other like investment or some other jobs or some salary to work on my plan. Pretend that she found a job, she start working, she like start collecting her money to work on her own plans, and she started her own initiative. At the beginning, when her friends like gets to know that she is doing something different, like she's doing something that they are not doing, so they are trying to leave that girl, or they are trying to leave whether it's a girl or a guy. And when when in your office, other colleagues, or especially when your boss gets to know that you are doing something different in doing your own job, he tries to like making excuses that you are getting some more time for your personal work, or you are getting some more attention on your personal work, so you are not working. What the person gets in such a society, he or she will be fired. Even if they don't be fired, at least they are under pressure and they have to like resign. So in another step, when you like resign, when you don't have a job, you don't have salary, you can find like fundings here, whatever you have, like if it's your dream, if it's your plan, if it's something different that you want to do than others, you have to leave it. Because what you need is to help your family, is to find some money, is to have a job. If you don't have a job, even people are not like, they're saying, okay, she's a jobless girl. He is a jobless one. So your words, whatever your plans, it's like worthless for others. They are not taking time to listen to you. So coming this whole way, whoever in Afghanistan who is trying to do something different, who is trying to make an initiative to do something better than others, our people are not giving chance for them. We are not helping them. This is something that this is something makes us different from other people around the world, because they are trying to support their youths. They are trying that if a young people is working on some certain plan, or he or she is working on something new, people tries to help them, people tries to push them, people tries to like make them to find their dreams, because he or she is not only working for themselves, they are working for others as well. But in Afghanistan, what we do is that we are trying to leave her alone. We are trying to push her, push pressure on her. We are trying to like discourage her by saying that you can do this, you can do that, it's something nonsense, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you will get nothing. And these are the things that daily Afghan girls are facing with. And especially girls who are like more involved in home, they have to take more responsibilities, like for taking care of child, for taking care of other family members, even when they are like going, you must say something? Sure. Even when they are going out for meetings, for something official, people are trying, even her family are trying to say that you are not allowed to go out, you are not allowed to meet different people. So how she can do something different than others? This is what our females are familiar with.
Fantastic. So I think this is a really good start. We're going to take 10 minutes and talk very quickly. So all comments can last only 1 minute. Okay? Because then we need to wrap up and go to another segment. So I'm going to give 1 minute to each of our speakers and then go to the audience. Sure. Do we have questions that you want to pose? And I'll take all the questions at one time. Anyone have a question? One. Anyone else? Two. Anyone else? Not you, not yet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to take all the questions and then we'll get answers. So introduce yourself.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. اسمم رمزیه هاشمی است. I prefer to talk Dari because my English not very good. سوال اولم از خانم مورگن است که اینا در پروژه‌ای که در WIE و WIG داشتن، قسمی که من خودم معلومات دارم، اینا بالای کمیت امی خانوما در بخش در هر بخشی که گورنمنت بوده یا ای که در بخش اقتصادی بوده بسیار کار کردن و یا بازم یک اندازه بسیار خوب نیست، مگم بازم کار کردن، مگم بالای کیفیت خانوما یعنی در بالای کیفیت یا کپاسیتی بیلدینگ خانوما اینا کار نکردن. به اندازه که ما کسانی میشناسم در بخش آیتیست از خانوما ماستر هم هستن، به اندازه که مردا از بچلر اینا قدر کیفیت دارن به اون اندازه کیفیت ندارن. یعنی میخوایم در این بخش از شما یک کوشن نباشه، یک سجیشن باشه که شما چه قسم یک پروگرام را میخواین که در راه داشته باشین که خانمای افغانستان از بخش آیتی باشه یا در بخش سافیر باشه یا بخش تکنولوژی یا بخشای دیگه که اکونومی و دیگه بخش هست، چه قسم میخواین که اونا را پروگرامایی داشته باشین که اینا چی کنن ظرفیتشان بلند شوه و از شما میخوایم که به ظرفیت خانم‌ها را بر ولایت افغانستان که است بغیر از کابل بالا ببرین. و سوال دوم از خانم شبانه منصوری است. اولا شما تشکر میکنم بخاطر کارهایی که بر خانم‌ها انجام دادین، افتخار میکنم بالایتان. بعد از این میخوایم از شما سوال کنم که شما این پروگرامای تکومن که داشتین، قسمی که من خبر دارم چند کنفرانس بوده و بس، و یعنی شما پروگرامای به خاطر ترینینگ برای خانم‌ها در بخش تکنولوژی نداشتین. و دیگه میخوایم که از شما پیشنهاد کنم به شما که شما یگان پروگرامر به خاطر چی میگن را به خاطر آگاهی عمومی داشته باشین، به خاطر که در افغانستان قسمی که معلوم است بسیار خانواده فکر میکنن که تکنولوژی بر خانم‌ها خوب نیست و یا ای که تکنولوژی را اگر دختر به طرف تکنولوژی میره باید که از راه دیگه مثلا مثل دخترای عادی نباشه، یعنی که باید حجابش دور کنه یا ای که از کارهای خانه بانه و مثل که یک دختری که افغانی‌ها دوست ندارن باشه. میخوایم که شما پروگرامای آگاهی داشته باشین و تشکر.
So we're going to go to the next question. I think that was a long statement, not a question. So let's try for questions and then we'll take some answers. Actually, him and then you, if you don't mind.
Thank you so much. My question, sorry, my name is Ali Sina Dosti. My question goes to Shabana Mansoory, as she asked previously that what are the aspects of women empowerment through technology, and what has the TechWomen has done so far into empowering women through technology, and how are you going to take actions toward harassment against women through technology? Thanks so much.
And before you talk, do we have one more question over here before I go to the answers?
My name is Shams. I'm Director for Communication and Information Technology in Lagman Province. I have a question from Ms. Shabana that he mentioned about some statistic or percentage of mobile access of women, that where they find this statistic, because as I know in that rural area, maybe it will be less than 10% of accessibility of women to the mobile. And also I have another question from Ms. Meshel that as we have a training center in provinces for ICT training center, but in last 8 years, we don't have a single girl that attend to the ICT training center because of traditional situations and governmental structures that we don't have female teachers. If we have female teachers, I promise that we will have more than 100 learners or students in that training center. What you can do or USAID can do for this?
So the first question was for me. Shall we take turns? Okay, the question was about, what is women in economy doing to improve skills in technology, particularly outside of Kabul? And what I want to address a couple of maybe misconceptions. USAID has been working in Afghanistan a really long time. One of the common criticisms of USAID programs is that it focuses on women in Kabul, everything happens in Kabul, and there's a lot of focus on problems, and it doesn't just come from the donor community, but consultants talk about problems and constraints, and you go and talk to Afghan companies and stakeholders, and they talk about problems and constraints. We prefer to focus on the opportunities, and having done that, we find that we're working in 31 provinces in Afghanistan. Despite the fact that everybody says, oh, women are discouraged from working outside the home, It's very difficult for them to go out to a job. We have 3,700 interns, including women who are getting work experience in Lagman and Helmand and Zabul, in places where people said, no, it's impossible. You won't be able to get females working there. And one of the big reasons that this doesn't happen is because we have a poor understanding of the situation. It's always assumed that there are no women working in Kandahar because Kandahari women are not allowed to work. Is that correct? How many of you believe that? Some of them are saying yes. So the area of the country where I have the most female interns that are successful and the most demand from employers for female workers is in Kandahar. Why? As the gentleman from Lagman said, we don't have any female instructors. We don't have any female nurses. We don't have any female doctors. Nobody to run the female clinic. Even if an employer in Kandahar wants to hire females and they know they need to hire them, what's the issue? How will they meet them? Is it appropriate for him to go to a girls' school and say, hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so from this private clinic. Can I speak to all your girls? No. It's just, the missing link is, first of all, there's no job information system. So most of the women in Kandahar don't have access to internet or mobile phone. They can't see job opportunities. The employer can't post job opportunities. And there's no way to make a connection. It's not because the companies don't want to hire females. And it's not because the females are unwilling to work or their fathers don't approve of work. It's that how would you know there's a job? Where would you find out? And once the introduction is made, we find that the girls are very happy in the new internship or the new job placement, and the employer is equally happy to have a qualified person working there. So I may have overflowed into the question about how is technology important to women's economic empowerment, but the transfer of information is extremely important. And one of the ways we're working to build skills in ICT is through the various scholarship programs. We have, we deliver different kinds of training to women in almost every province in Afghanistan. I think the only province right now where we don't have a girl enrolled in something is Uruzgan. I could be mistaken. There's one everywhere else, or 10 or 50 everywhere else. We have very generalized skills building training like job readiness training, but we also can support training in Adobe Creative Cloud certification. We're doing ICDL, we are doing training in Cisco Network certification. All of these things are accessible through scholarship programs, and I can give you information that you can spread around through your network that way.
So let's try to respond to a couple of the other questions, and then I'm going to offer a summing up and a concrete suggestion.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Ramzia, right? For a question, you asked about the awareness about TechWomen and also TechWomen programs and trainings. Well, for this session, I invited all our members through the Facebook group, not only for this, but for many of the programs or the job opportunities that other organizations or companies reach us. We distribute everything, but as before I said that the missing part is the females, their own interest and their own intentions to take the stand, come and contribute to the ICT community. And yes, in order to engage all females who are interested with TechWomen activities, we have a kind of special and official membership recruitment that we just announced in early March. and we will continue that. And one thing else that you said about spreading awareness about ICT on women, and that the ICT is not only for males, and if a woman is using internet or smartphone, that means that you're not accepted, or it's something not usual in Afghanistan, or maybe in many Islamic countries. This is also again our responsibility. Every one who comes under membership of TechWomen, or who is interested in women in ICT, to show that it's not so. And I know that it's it's not only activities which are done related to this, but in TechWomen we aim to spread this awareness as well. And for that we have try to communicate with the women communities who are actively working in Middle Eastern countries, such as Lebanon, Egypt, and they even travel for coaching, mentoring programs to United States for 6 months or 9 months or an hour. We also work with them in order to show, in a country like Afghanistan, that no, ICT is not only for women who live in Europe or in USA, but also who live in Asia, in Africa, or in Islamic countries. Yes, for women empowerment, we have had many specialized trainings. We had with Abadi when Michelle was there. We had training programs, and we also have now some of specialized technical trainings. We also collaborate with some of the agencies and organizations who provide some of the other kind of leadership or manager trainings. And one thing is what TechWomen is doing to prevent from online women harassment. For that, I come under ISOC Afghanistan, because Internet Society Afghanistan is working on preventing the online harassment of women. And yes, once women come under TechWomen, then we have some of the special programs with the Internet Society Afghanistan as well, which your question comes under that. Thank you. Maybe I speak it.
May I give you 1 minute, and then I'm going to wrap up, because we are then going to take 10 minutes to do an open mic.
Okay, just I would like to have some suggestion to USAID, and please the interpreter to translate it properly. یو پیشنهاد زما دا ده USAID ته چې د خپل ټولو پروګرامونو لپاره یو کرایټریا وضع کړي او شرطونه وضع کړي په افغانستان کې چې هر هغه پروګرام چې دغه پروګرام په اونرشپ کې ښځې 50% نه کم وي هغه به نه سپورټ کوي او یا به په یو ډېره ټیټه فیصده کچه باندې سپورټ کوي. USAID ډېرې منابع په افغانستان کې ولګولې، منابع زیاد را در افغانستان مصرف کرد، پولی بسیار هنگفت. اما شما یک خانم قوی که یک کمپانی بزرگدار شما برای من نشان بدین، یک خانم برای من نشان بدین که او واقعا در اقتصاد سرپای خود ایستاد شده باشه و در این عرصه کار کرده باشه. پیشنهاد من اینمی است که USAID برای تمام حمایت های خود در افغانستان شروط بگذاره. این درست است که در بعضی موضوعات اجتماعی و سیاسی زنها حمایت شده، ولی اقتصاد نقش بسیار مهمی داره در تغییر یک جامعه، در موقف یک جامعه. بنان اینمی مسئله عالم نوقت نیست، با وجودی که USAID بسیار فعالیت کرده در افغانستان و قابل قدر است، افغانستان را حمایت کرده و خصوصا همی پروگرام پروموت که اخیراً شده یکی از برنامه‌های اخیر بود که یکم ذره توجه برش صورت گرفته، اما هنوزم وقت است در تمام برنامه‌های خود زنها را واقعا از لحاظ اقتصادی کمک کنه. اقتصادی نیستن که بسیار فعالیت‌های خرد چتنی سازی و نمیفهم کارپت سازی و این موضوعات خرد و ریزه این فعالیت نیست. فعالیت اینمی هستن که ویلت برش بیتین، سرمایه برش بیتین و اونا را حمایت کنین از در سیستم اقتصادی افغانستان. تشکر.
So I'm going to, as I said, I have to close off the questions, but I'm going to offer a summing up, and then we're going to have 10 minutes open mic, and if that's what you want to focus on during the open mic, then you can do that, okay? I have a couple of thoughts. There was a time that my country, the United States of America, should be very, very embarrassed about, 2 times, about how we treated the indigenous people from our country, the Indians, the Native Americans, and then later how we treated Black Americans. When people were not allowed to go to school, they were not allowed access to even to ride the bus. They couldn't buy food at a drugstore. And the only way we could change that was not for only the Black people in America to fight for change. It was for whites and Blacks. Now, what's the moral of my story? Women alone cannot change your country. You guys are all here, I hope, because you are men supporting women and men who care about your country and your culture and how you as Afghanistan affect the rest of the world. So here's my thought. I heard some things here which made me think about, well, maybe there's some simple solutions in some instances of how to provide more information or how to make information more accessible. I will also tell you that there's some great research coming out of Learn Asia, which shows that many, many women in the Asian countries do not understand the value of using online services, and that the content available to them is not applicable to their daily life to get them interested, or that to allow them to convince the rest of their family that they should be able to spend time online. So I think what I take out of this is, why don't we treat this as, boy, we need to study this more, and we need to think about, are we interested in looking ahead to IGF Afghanistan, which you've all agreed to work on for 2018, and think about planning a much more robust session, maybe even on day 0, to look at examples of problems, examples of successes, and think about what you can propose both to employers who are in your country, who want to do business in your country and are not now making an investment. And so I won't name them, but they might be the social media companies. So let's think about what can we do together to not just what USAID is doing or what TechWomen is doing, but what could we do together to design something and work together toward a more robust session for the next IGF Afghanistan. So I'm going to ask if people would support that idea. There's not enough men supporting women and not enough women raising their hands. Okay, that's enough of a group to work together. Any 30-second response, and then we're going to go to the open mic. Other people had questions, and I think, 1 minute, you're going to get to be the first in the open mic. Any last 30 minutes? Or shall we just go to the open mic? Because the questions are going to be for you. Okay, we're going to go to the open mic. We have 10 minutes. You get 1 minute. It has to be a question, not a statement. And I'm going to take the microphone away at 1 minute. And if you want to speak, could you come and stand here so I can quickly get to you?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saidi Faizi هستم. فارغ دانشگاه Information Communication Technology. ما یک سوال و یک نظر داشتم با خواهر ما شبانه که اگر شما واقعا میخوای که نقش خواهرای ما در نهاد شما و دیگه جا پررنگتر باشه، اولین کار چرا در نهاد خودتان از تکنولوژی استفاده نمیکنید؟ این بسیار سادگی میتونید. شما فقط میتونید که پانتونای شخصی، پانتونای دولتی اینا که است، تنها بر ریاستای اون پانتونا با تماس از طریق ایمیل یا شما برنامه خود تشریح کنید، بگویید که خانم‌ها همون شاگردای که اونجا هستن هم تشویق میشن، هم از برنامه‌تون آگاهی پیدا میکنن و شما از اون طریق میتونید بسیار خانم‌های فعال که بتونن واقعا از برنامه شما استفاده کنن و آینده خوبی را هم بتونن به فامیل خود سپورت کنن، هم بتونن به وطن خدمت کنن، میتونن از این طریق جذب کنید. چرا که امروز ما میبینیم زیادتر خانواده هستند که به دختر خانم‌ها میگن وقتی تو پنتون میخوانی آینده تو چی میشه؟ وقتی که یک پسر نمیتونه که یک جای وظیفه پیدا کنه تو چطور پیدا میکنی؟ اگه اونا از این طریق وقتی به خانواده خود تشریح کنن که یک برنامه وجود داره، طبعا اونا زیادترش تشویق میشن و یعنی نظرم. تشکر.
Hold on. We have one more, 1 minute. And then, do we have one more, 1 minute?
Time for me? Okay. Thank you, Marilyn. First, I'm glad that I could be part of the IDF Afghanistan. And actually, it's a kind of big step that we have a particular session for the women and youth. So just, I have a question from Ms. Shabana that what will be the next step for call to action the woman for a better engagement of the woman to the IDF, and what will be the better use of the internet? Just this. Thank you. Actually, it will be in mind of the most of the female. That's why I ask it.
تشکر. سجشن پیشنهادی که شما داشتین نه تنها از طریق ایمیل بلکه فعلا زیادتر از ایمیل هم کرده خود سوشال میدیا و رسانه های اجتماعی که هستن زیادتر مفید هستن. بسیاری اوقات که فرصت های می باشه هم در داخل و حتی در خارج یا فرصت های کاری که می باشه، چون تکومن افغانستان که از خودش یک ممبرشپ بیست پلتفرم یا پروگرام است و ممبرای ما زیادتر از طریق سوشال میدیا ما همراهشون در تماس می باشیم. پروگرام های مثلا اینویشن لب بوده یا خود منسجان امروز که هست یا بعضی فرصت های کاری بوده همراه بسیار کمپانی های خوب که در قسمت اینترنت کار میکنن یا در قسمت تکنولوژی کار میکنن. ما این معلومات شریک ساختیم و باز هم تشکر از نظر شما در آینده در نظر میگیریم که چطور میتونیم پانتونا را مثلا ریچ کنیم یا ای که چطور برنامه ها وسیع‌تر شود. ولی یک چیزی که من باز هم به او اشاره میکنم که TechWomen افغانستان یک ممبرشپ بیست پروگرام است یا پلتفرم است. هر دختر خانمی که علاقمند می باشه در بخش ICT میتونه بیاید اینجا خودش کار کنه، خودش مسئولیت بگیره و دیگران هم تشویق کنه که شامل این برنامه شود. خب سوالی که شکیبا جان کردن که استپ بعدی به خاطر انگیجمنت خانم‌ها در تکومن چی میتونه باشه؟ یکی که خود امی پلتفرم باید قوی شود. ممبرای داریم ما ولی we need active members. We just recently raised our we just recently had an application for the membership renewal of our membership program through social media, and we received many applications. And we called them and we sent them an invitation to come and join us into this program. But the thing is that some of the time or usually females show interest, but when it comes to the contribution or active participation, that time you don't see like kind of active participation. So this is the problem, but the next step can be that how we can get them engaged and how we can like get to know about their concerns or what were the problems that they couldn't come today and attend the session. We can discuss this more, or maybe with the advisory organizations or the people who work with us on advisory level. We can discuss this more and see what happens. And you said what can be better than for active participation of women in IGF as well, and also in usage of internet. Since Internet Society just launched yesterday, it's a new chapter. We can consider a kind of a special program or committee under the Internet Society who focuses on women in and internet, or women-related issues and internet. And I hope that other females also through TechWomen and then through Internet Society can contribute to that, because only 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 women cannot do this alone.
Okay, guys, we are going to wrap up. Omar is back in the room. We're going to start with the next phase of the program. We have a few things we have to accomplish. And as soon as he's aware, as soon as Omar is aware that I'm trying to hand the microphone to him. Okay.
While we're doing that, I'm going to put these on the table
Fantastic.
in the back.
So Omar, fantastic. We have a work item that we have to do in follow-up about how we're going to work together toward an event related to this topic for IGF Afghanistan 2018. He's not going to have a planning group. We're going to have scheduled the whole thing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for running an excellent workshop main session on women in technology and how they contribute to the economic development, women empowerment, as well as technology. Thank you very much, Michelle, for your time and being with us to speak about how Promote WIE contributes to the women empowerment. In Shabana Mansoory from TechWomen Afghanistan about how TechWomen Afghanistan helps with the developing the leadership and professional capacity of women in technology. So is this the closing session now?